When we go and turn down the TV, please.
Must it be done? Selvon, go and get my water, please. Help. Water. It's in the kitchen.
Welcome Trinidad and Tobago, and of course up the Caribbean, and of course the Trinidadians and Tobagonians across the planet. Welcome ever to the first episode of OMG Live, the Quarantine edition. Of course, I'm Richard Ragoobarsingh. Sometimes I'm an actor, sometimes I'm a director, sometimes I'm a playwright, sometimes on radio, etc., etc., etc. So let's have the others introduce themselves. Let's start with you, Vaughnette.
I'm Vaughnette Bigford, and I'm a musician. I live in Ludbury, in Trinidad and Tobago.
Oh, towards the city of Ludbury.
I'm Cecilia. Well, I'm Cecilia Salazar, and I am in the beautiful, tranquil Pity Valley right now. I'm an actress, talk show host, mother, teacher, creative producer.
Nice.
And I am Penelope Spencer, star of screen, stage, and the occasional circuit. Wherever that circuit might be, I'm always there. I am there for children, I'm there for everything, I'm there for everybody.
Yeah, you're like salt.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, guys. And I'm Richard Young. Some people, I was branded when I was doing Caribbean Next Top Model as a Caribbean fashion guru, but I don't know what that means really. But I work in fashion, directing fashion productions and styling and coordinating and whatever. All right, so here we are at OMG. From time to time, you're going to be hearing a voice talking to us and wondering who is that sixth voice. It's the voice of Stephen Doobal at Master Control. Welcome,
Hi
Stephen.
everyone. Hi. I'm ready. I'm ready to go. You all are looking lovely. Let's.
Okay,
well, let's call it God for our
very-
purposes.
Yes, did you God?
Did you, God?
Well, it's a very precarious time, and amidst these tragic changes, our lives have taken a different tone in the past few weeks. So we wanted to come together to talk, build a community around this new normal. And we want all those who are looking on to connect with us, ask questions, be part of today's conversation.
Absolutely. And besides our stimulating conversation and company, we will be playing games, listening to some music, checking out what's new and coming to your screen. And by your screen, I mean your TV screen. And by coming to your TV screen, I mean Netflix. And of course, plenty all on other people's account. Don't lie. All you know, all you sharing accounts. So,
What's wrong with that?
we're going to... So we invite you to come in and chat with us. And of course, you are welcome to OMG Live, the Quarantine edition. It's our first episode, so we're very excited. We're going to be here every day at 2 p.m. And so please take this opportunity to share our feed, share it on your timeline, and select notify so you can be notified when we are next on.
Well,
And don't forget
before we
our
move any
extra
further-
host. Our extra host,
Yes.
Camille, is somewhere there in the background. She'll be with us on another day.
Yep.
Right. Just wanted to
Yes,
mention her.
yes.
So,
Camille Selvon.
Very
Camille
well.
Selvon. Hi,
Thank you,
Camille.
Yeah.
Penny.
Hi, Camille. But before we go any further with our show today, we have today's OMG Live COVID-19 update.
Yep. Well, from all indicators, COVID-19, and of course the science is getting to know more every day, can be spread from droplets in the air after someone sneezes, breathes out, or coughs, and infected microscopic water droplets from their breath lingers in the air for sometimes up to 10 minutes. Can you believe that? Wow. And the next person breathing in that air can catch COVID-19. So staying home is one of the surest ways to avoid contamination. Stay home, people. Everybody's telling you that stay home. Of course, unless, of course, and of course, in Central Work in Trinidad is a long, long list of people. Thousands of us. I'm on it. I'm on the list. Also, living at home, treat everyone as if they are contaminated. It's your best bet to keep safe, especially if people at your home decide to leave the house to come back. You know who I'm talking about. Somebody who have to say, I'm going to the grocery. I have to get something important to the grocery. And then they come back with a pack of kurma. Yeah. People we talking about. Yeah.
Richard.
Right. So treat them as if they are contaminated. I know it's difficult because some families are very, huggy and lovey, but some it's very easy to do. They could say, that's it. So be safe and live like you are contaminated. And of course, when you have to leave the house and come back, or you have high-risk people living with you, like cancer patients, the pregnant, and the elderly, you have to be even more careful. Not so, Richard?
Yes. As these Spain recorded 589 deaths last night, 563, Iran 158, and that is just in a 24-hour period. So people, this is very, very serious. Can we pull up the World Health Organization figures to see today's global and Trinidad and Tobago's latest update?
Wow.
44,204 people dead. And almost as much as the people living in Trinidad and Tobago with corona. Wow.
With corona.
It's easy. Sometimes it's easy to get desensitized. You hear in some country 200 people died today, 500 people died today, and you don't think about it. But those people represent somebody who is loved and part of a family, part of a community, and so that's why it's so important to be safe. Be safe. Stay at home, please. Do what you can. Ensure that you're being personally responsible. Of course, we will be linking with people giving Facebook comments throughout the show. Vaughnette is our designated Facebook person, so she'll tell us who's on, who's saying what, and we go on. But before that, our bacchanal, well, it's not bacchanal really. The Commissioner of Police, Gary Griffith. Our own G. No. Lots of people love me in Trinidad and Tobago. Just saying that to the outside world, they do. They say, he says that the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service may be forced to close banks, supermarkets, and markets if citizens do not follow the strict guidelines of not congregating over the number of 5. We're now down to 5 in TNT, so you can't congregate more than 5 persons. And if you drive past any supermarket today in Trinidad and Tobago, you're going to see a line of people trying to get in, and they ain't social distancing. Absolutely not.
And the banks.
But connected to that, even the banks too. And of course, earlier this morning, our Prime Minister, Dr. Keith Rowley, had a press conference, and so here is a video clip from Dr. Rowley's response to a reporter at this morning's meeting. Well, it's this morning's media briefing, actually, questioning the government's measures to keep people home.
How many of you seen the videos of some other countries that have this same problem? And they send the police out with battles and bamboo rods to beat people. We're not doing that here. We're not doing that here. We're talking to our population. And the commissioner, like every other population. But if you ask him about arresting people, then he will tell you, well, if you want to exercise the law, I can present you with the law. But then you have another voice coming to you from the Minister of Health, from the CMO, from the Prime Minister saying, don't do it. Because if you do it, you are exposing yourself and the rest of the country. Do you need to be beaten with a bamboo rod to understand that? That is our situation. That's our situation. So, we've said, we've been talking to you, giving you every good reason why you should separate from persons. The CMO went as far as to say, let us as a people behave as though everybody has this COVID, and therefore you treat them with dignity and humanity, but you stay away so as not to be in the range of infection. That's what the CMO said to all of us. That is not law. That is just common sense.
I don't know if all of you all saw that this morning when he did that press conference.
No,
I was
I didn't.
watching it at work, actually. I know the important point I think he's making too is that there's so many people who feel the need to exercise. They feel the need that they need to jog maybe around the neighborhood or something like that. And the Prime Minister is pretty adamant that, look, you don't know who you're going to meet up on the road. You don't know if somebody is going to cough or sneeze among you. It could be two of yours. So it just doesn't really make sense. You know, I don't know if you all have any other thoughts.
I'm just wondering why it almost seems to be like the Prime Minister has to actually beg us to do something for our safety. I'm so confused by that. It's almost like he's begging.
I don't understand why people have to be beaten with a big stick to get inside, you know. I hope we don't have to resort to that, you know, because people just risking their lives. It's okay if you want to risk your life, but other people involved, you know. And I just don't understand why we as a nation cannot understand that. We have lights, we have water, we have everything in our homes. Why are we running away from our homes? Well, that could be answered.
When I look at it, when I look at it from another point of view, I saw old people lining up at the banks because today and yesterday was pension.
The pension.
So they have to get their pension. So we have put nothing in place for these people to get their pension in the mail or to get it last week. So they are forced to come down there, 75-year-old people. So I think if we are serious, then we have to put things in place to ensure that these people don't have to go out of their...
If I can say one more thing before we go to Richard.
Point of view.
The next Richard. Yeah, the issue of, because I think what the Prime Minister is basically saying there is, look, if you all don't do it voluntarily, like how we are asking you to do it, we are going to go to a state of emergency. I think basically that is what he's saying, that we're going to go to a state of emergency. And I'm always cautious about a state of emergency myself, because I think it pains me to see citizens under curfew and citizens in terror. I remember the last time we were in a state of emergency, I had a pass as a media person. And coming home after the curfew, I saw this family of a young girl and the parents. They came out of the Arima hospital and they were terrified waiting for transport to get home. I could see the terror in their face covers after the curfew. And of course I stopped. I stopped and I gave them a lift. And I hate seeing our citizens in terror. And that's what I think a state of emergency can do. I mean, we already have an example with the police, which are not under state of emergency, and everybody saw that video clip about the police and what they did to that that guy, that homeless guy. The punching. So far less, if you have the state of emergency powers, can you imagine how much more difficult it could get if you have some people who are just not empathetic that these are citizens and treating us with the humanity we deserve, you know?
So the fact is, if we do not do as the authorities are saying, which is guided by the World Health Organization, we'll be wiped out very quickly because our health system does not have the strength of the US or what is in Italy or what is in Spain. And look at what is happening in those places. Here is a very sobering report from the devastation that has happened in New York recently.
For now, The reports, particularly here in New York, are startling. More than 76,000 confirmed cases, some 300 people dead just yesterday, bringing the total here in New York City, 1,800, New York State rather. Molalenghi is at a Navy hospital ship, the Comfort, docked on the west side of Manhattan. Mola, good morning. Yesterday it was tense in Central Park. Now it's a Navy ship on the Hudson River. What's that ship going to be used for?
Well, good morning, Tony. The Comfort will be used for non-coronavirus patients. This floating hospital is fully equipped with a medical laboratory, a dozen operating rooms, and a pharmacy, among other things. The state of New York, according to Governor Andrew Cuomo, has significantly increased its number of beds, up more than 20 to 75,000. But given the rate that this virus is spreading, he says we will very likely need
a grim sight that's being repeated outside several hospitals in the New York metro area. Workers in Brooklyn are seen putting a corpse in a refrigerated truck. Hospitals across the city say their ICUs are nearly full.
It's just surreal, actually, knowing that I'm in a disaster zone in New York City.
Governor Andrew Cuomo says the state's peak of cases could still be 3 weeks away.
We're all in search of the apex and the other side of the mountain, but we are still headed up the mountain.
Among the state's new cases, the governor's brother, CNN anchor Chris Cuomo.
Scared, yes, as you might imagine.
It's not surprising to me that more of us are testing positive than ever before.
Nearly 400 Boston healthcare workers have tested positive, including more than 100 at Brigham and Women's Hospital.
By being healthcare workers, we're not actually able to do what's being recommended to the rest of the country, which is stay at home.
More than 400 nursing homes across the country have infected residents. 2 have died at this facility in Nashville, Tennessee, including Clara Summers, who just celebrated her 89th birthday.
I would give anything if I could see my phone and it say Granny one more time.
And a growing coronavirus crisis at sea. The USS Theodore Roosevelt is in Guam, carrying some 5,000 crew members, nearly 100 infected with COVID-19. In a memo to Navy leaders, the captain said the crew is a necessary risk to stop the virus from spreading.
You have very limited room where you sleep. It's like bunks right on top of each other.
Monica Baxa's daughter, Diane, is on board.
I'm not asking, the Navy, please send my daughter home. No, she's in the Navy. She's a U.S. sailor. She can handle it. But at the same point, take care of your people.
Jails and prisons throughout the country have also struggled to keep their inmates safe. According to the U.S. Department of Corrections, nationally, inmates will be contained to their cells for the next 2 weeks in order to try to stop the spreading of the virus.
Wow.
Wow.
Oh.
It's very sad. Very, very sad. I mentioned earlier on, we can get a little desensitized when you hear all the numbers and we forget the humanity in the thing, the loss of loved ones and the pain of not being part of the process of the dying and the moving on,
That's
so there you have
it.
it.
People dying
and not
alone.
only that,
and
not only that, it's New York. I mean, there's so many Trinidadians and Tobagonians. The Caribbean diaspora lives in New York. I always say Brooklyn is the most. I always say Brooklyn is the most northerly city of the Caribbean, and so it's scary stuff. Of course, we just want to say hi to Alec Liz Williams and Colette Branch Dick. That's what they want. SOE, she says, just stay home, people. We still have some freedom to get food and medicine. People not taking this thing seriously at all. So says Lizanne Candobadal by myself, Hamilton. Lord Liz. Lizanne, what the hell is that name?
I think that ship that is docked has the perfect name, the Comfort. Because that I think that's such a wonderful thing that could happen, that they're gonna take in all the people that could be saved. I'm really worried about the healthcare workers. We need our healthcare workers. Can you imagine the healthcare workers get all of it get corona? Nobody wanted that job. So that's one of my real concerns, Jody, the healthcare workers.
Yeah. So Yes, as we started talking, because I was going to ask each one of us to have our own comment on the COVID-19 situation, because that was our OMG Live COVID-19 update. So let's show our points of view in here. Cecilia, you can say your point of view with respect to how COVID-19 has affected you and how you see it.
How it's affected me? Well, besides talking, I think everybody needs to stay at home. That's the first message. I have not gone anywhere, and that's for 2 weeks now since they closed the schools and the theaters, because I act and I teach. So while I know some people, a small percentage of people need to go out, don't go out. Stay home. This is if we all stay at home and make your home comfortable. On making your home your place. That's how it's affecting me. I'm not going anywhere. I'm terrified of it. I had a heart condition 11 years ago when my daughter was born, so I cannot afford to get it. I have not seen anyone except my daughter, and I'm not going anyway. Okay, that's me.
Penny.
Do a cough.
Yes, Richard. Richard.
You can't cough now, you know. Not even on a live.
Not even on a live.
Well, for me,
And
most of you know that I'm a musician, and I would have had a number of gigs planned for the next couple of months, including an event that I was throwing for myself for the as part of the Point Fortin Borough Week celebration. Of course, everything, including the entire week of celebration, has been cancelled, and all my gigs for the next at least 2.5 to 3 months have also been cancelled. So it was a very, very sobering time for me. I saw somebody put on Facebook this morning they wish they had a government job in times like this, because of the stability associated with it. But it's been it's a challenging time, but we just have to manage it somehow. This is a global pandemic. So.
Yeah.
It's scary. It's scary. It's scary times. And of course, for your essential workers, and there are thousands of us. As I said previously, I'm one of them. And thousands of us are out there every day, and you could see people, going to supermarkets, banks, pharmacies, wherever, and I mean, some people, I can see people making an effort to social distance sometimes, like if you enter an ATM, you see people move away and give it a look, which means
Too close.
So you see all the, so it's there I go rubbing my nose. It is so difficult to keep your hands from your face.
That's my main problem, to keep my hands from my face. How to stop doing that?
Wow.
Somebody told me I should try to use my left hand for doors, to open doors and everything, and get accustomed using your left hand. But that's my main thing. How you stop putting your hands by your face,
That's
but
crazy.
God is good, and we will get through this. Yeah.
So ambidexterity is definitely a thing that should come into play right now, Penny.
Yes, definitely.
But according to Vaughnette, what Vaughnette said there, and what they call freelancers and independent contractors and things, I suffer myself because I lost 7 projects in the next that were up for the next 3 months or so, and so you have to strategically plan how to deal with. All the creatives have to find a way to make sense of this new normal, as it were. Well, on a very different note,
I don't want this to become the new normal, though. I hate this. I don't want this to become the new normal. I need to.
You're right, Penny. When people say new normal, I kind of go, what? New normal. This is not to be normalized. No,
at all.
This has to remain unusual. There's no new normal. It's unusual. Leave it there.
Agreed. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. I want to go to the beach.
We can say hi to some. Can we say hi to some of the people on Facebook? Vaughnette.
Yes,
Who's
please.
there?
Let me call some people. There's Bernadette Edmond. There's Melissa Roberts. Stacy DeGale just joined us. Dominique Innes. Sheldon Lane.
Hi, Dominique.
Natasha Lake. Melissa Rogers. Janessa Batiste. Wendell Manwarren.
Hi, Wendell.
Hi, Wendell.
Hi, Wendell.
Shelly Ann Noel from Tobago. I saw we had Jade from Dominica, Lisa Sargent Gonzalez.
Hi,
a number
Lisa.
of others.
So welcome.
Lizanne, Ralph, and Dale.
Welcome,
Dave
welcome.
Hilbert. Thanks so much for joining us, guys.
And spread the
thanks
word.
so
We get
much.
tomorrow.
Of course. Yeah, and of course, some of us may drop out, some back in. We're going to have different guests. We're going to be speaking to Trinis across the planet, wherever they are. Sometimes they're going to be a guest telling us what's going on wherever they are. So we're going to keep it current, keep it vibesy. And let me pass on to Richard Young so he can continue.
Well, on a very different note, I saw that DJ Bravo just did a new music video. Just Thursday last.
Oh my God, is that?
And up to now,
that's Vaughnette's competition. That's Vaughnette's competition.
Vaughnette's competition. Over 90,000. Let's take a look.
Very funny, Vaughnette. Good one. Good one.
Let's take a look. Let's take a look.
Stop. We want madness.
You're not giving up. Yeah.
Stop.
There's
One
one
day,
girl in the
madness.
ring. Fa la 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 la.
La la la.
Well,
Vaughnette
interesting.
says, Richard,
Vaughnette. Vaughnette, what is that expression about Vaughnette?
I don't know.
What you saying?
I should say, though, that I'm happy that we have persons in the public domain giving their however the voice is, giving their voice to this whole
the cause, the crisis.
The cause, yes.
I like the melody, and the music.
Yeah.
Yeah, like the melody since you were 6, Penny.
It made me laugh. Yes. But it made me smile. It made me laugh, and that's what I think.
It's a positive message.
It's very
uplifting.
positive, sweet.
Yeah.
Yes, innocent.
Yeah. The message is
Good
positive.
going, Bravo.
And you're a big, DJ Bravo, Vaughnette.
Okay,
Vaughnette,
Richard.
Let me see that.
We love you.
Red Cross, cricket.
He will be an.
Yeah. So as COVID-19 is changing the world as we know it, we are now going to go to this place where the super intelligent human beings among us congregate and have deep philosophical thinkings on life in general. It's called TikTok. Meanwhile, at TikTok.
In our first video today, we have someone going into their backyard, looking at their water tank, picking up a plastic soft drink bottle, and this is what they did.
The downside of
water tank can be music.
Oh God, I love it.
If we have plenty time on the hand.
I don't know.
That
People have a lot of time on their hands, I guess.
that is play. Yeah, that is play, and maybe we all need to take time to play. At least I have a daughter, so we're doing a lot of that kind of thing. That's normal for us. Yeah, I'm gonna put up a TikTok. You'll see tomorrow.
Yeah, you're gonna do a TikTok. Okay. We're still looking forward to it excitedly. Yeah, we are. All right, so the next video from TikTok we have this young lady doing her best impression of Kim Kardashian cooking. Of course, we all know that Kim loves to cook. Yeah, Kim Kardashian West. Thank you for the correction. So let's take a look.
Hi, I'm Kim Kardashian West, and something you might not know about me is that I'm a really good cook, and I love to cook.
Dun, da, 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 dun, da, da, da,
No, wait. First of all, what was she throwing behind her there?
That was a slice of bread with
It was
cheese
like bread
falling.
and cheese. She was throwing the cheese over her head.
Parmesan cheese.
Because a dairy
Does that
is
invoke
stove.
some?
Oh, that's a table.
It's a tea
I
tray.
love. Richard, you go to the next video, please.
If you
I
felt
thought
you're
we
doing
saw
a good job with your corona cleaning stories, the next person is taking her cleaning routine to the next level. Take a look.
Coronavirus, coronavirus, lávese las manos, hágalo seguido. Coronavirus, coronavirus, pónganse las pilas en lugares concurridos. Coronavirus.
No. She is very brave.
Money laundering.
She is very brave. I assume she has no neighbors. She has no neighbors because anybody could push their hand through that louvers and grab that money, especially the $100 section.
It must be counterfeit.
Must be. Yeah, because that's a normal.
I have no clue.
Money is one of the dirtiest things. No.
No.
Money
That is
is one of the
crazy.
dirtiest things. Maybe she's just being safe, clean. That's all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think she should put it in a
Okay.
safe. She should put it in a safe.
Thank you for that, Cecilia. Thank you for the explanation. We appreciate it. So that is TikTok, people. Of course, as I said, the repository of the super intelligent on the planet. That's what they do. So now we know why nobody visits us from another planet. And of course, so now, since of course we're seeing how people were passing the time, let's move to our next segment called Passing the Time.
Passing the time.
Clever.
Cardi B.
To our online audience. To our online audience, you can send us your thoughts. Just email your video clips or voice notes to info@omgt.com with your name and contact information. So everyone, how have you been passing the time?
Yes,
The
how
time that
have
we
you
have
been passing the time? How?
Vaughnette, what you doing, girl?
Just now I'm engaging with my I'm engaging with the Facebook audience here, asking them.
All right, let me go. I mean, I have been pretty much. I've been pretty much, especially during the weekday. I'm one of the essential workers, so I'm out there. Of course, trying to be safe. Of course, at work we have kind of we have rostered so that not everybody's there at the same time, in accordance with the government's directions. That people should try and reduce, your employees all being there at the same time. So, I mean, I'm pretty much busy during the week, except for the days that I'm off. And for the days I'm off, I always tell myself, I'm going to exercise. And then I end up in front of the couch on the couch, actually, watching Netflix and what the next movie is. And I said, get up and go and exercise. And then I think, oh, God, this movie looks good, and that's it. And then it's morning time and at work. I don't know. So I am doing exactly how not to exercise.
What Penny doing?
Penny, what are you doing?
You see, this is like the third week for me that I have been in, it's a hibernation kind of. And I have been doing nothing, I just did nothing because I have been, most of my life is just up and down. What class, where to go, who have an appointment with now, So like the first 2 weeks, first week, I did nothing and I enjoyed doing nothing. And a lot of people should really invest in doing nothing. Just be at one with yourself, and I think that has this vibe me to a place where I'm really comfortable with myself and doing nothing. So that's how I pass the time. But next week, I am just going to clean my closets and do some more exercise in my house and do all those wonderful things. But I'm really worried about my kids that I've done in my adopter class. I've been passing my time worried about them because there are a lot of at-risk kids and they don't have the computers that, some children will have and do homework. My kids they don't have access to that. So a part of my thing is just being worried about them and how their education going. Yeah.
Yeah, I hear you. Cecilia?
Yeah.
Well, like
Cecilia?
Penny, I've been home for this is the 3rd week now because yes.
Go ahead.
Yes, you hearing me?
Yeah.
Hi. Yeah, like Penny, I've been home for 3 weeks now. So, and my daughter had SEA classes. Well, SEA was supposed to be tomorrow. So the teachers are not letting up. So we have a routine. So it's brought me to a lot more of a routine. I have to get up in the morning, make sure she does her classes. Some days she has tests. So I'm spending a lot more time monitoring her and learning a lot more about her and her work. And that's what I've been doing. I have already baked an apple pie, baked a sponge, made curry chicken, all kinds of things. And so I'm spending my time adjusting in home, making it home, cooking and cleaning and that sort of thing. I'd have to do that and go crazy.
Yeah.
What about you, Vaughnette?
Yeah, let me read some of the comments from some of the people we have on here. Of course, one is saying Netflix. Melissa says she's working. She's trying to do some courses online, book work. JC Sugar says she's looking at fabric from the Stone Age. Dominic says he's cleaning, cooking, not exercising, not in capital letters, of course, Olia. Colleen says Netflix, cooking and exercising. Cyprian is cleaning and reading. Ronald is passing the time by having fits of laughter with his sister. That's beautiful. That's beautiful. And Stacy, who's a physiotherapist, says she's trying out platforms to provide treatment for her clients under these conditions, Yeah, Lisa Wickham says she's doing nothing.
Excellent.
God, you go, girl. I like that. What are you doing, though, Vaughnette?
For me, I'm Netflix for me. Exercise. I'm not playing with my exercise because I'm putting on no 25 pounds after this. Netflix, exercise, and I'm trying to do some YouTube videos of lighting. I'm trying to figure out how to keep my home videos well lit. So I'm going through some YouTube videos on lighting instructions.
Nice. Very productive.
Well, what I did, I started off by doing a list, making up a list of what should be done in this dead zone time, as it were. I made up about 3 pages, and I attempted to do some, because I think you need to be real inventive, imaginative. I did fall asleep on the couch. I did do the Netflix. I did go on the bike to pedal and never got around to doing much of it. But I think I'm going to grow into it because more and more. But I must admit that sometimes I get up in the middle of the night with an anxiety attack in the realization that this thing is something like Contagion and these shows that we have seen. And I get into a state of terror and I start wondering about how long this is going to take. And then I have to calm myself and go back into a kind of sane space. But it is, that's how I have been working on the time. So, guess what? At this time in the program, we have Let's Play That Game.
All right, so everyone, let's play that game. Of course, this is where we can be pretty interactive with you people on social media because we are going to ask our esteemed songstress, and it's not you, Penny. Not you, Penny.
No!
Not you, Penny. Sure. It's fun. So, Vaughnette, what you're going to do is sing a line from a song, and we are going to have to guess what the song is. Now, I can tell the listening audience, the 3 of us, besides Vaughnette here, are terrible. The 4 of us, sorry, are terrible at this game. Horrible. So you all will have to give the answers. I will be watching you all on Facebook to see who can give me the right answer. So Vaughnette, sing a line.
All right,
And
so
people guess
first
it.
song.
I'll get it
First
today.
song. First song. So I go take a little drink and I go do what I want. That's it.
Do what?
Oh
What's
my
the name of that
God.
song?
I know this song. What's the
I
name
know
of
this
that song?
song.
Somebody on social
Work
media
hard,
help me
play
pass.
harder, work hard, play harder.
Play harder.
Play harder.
Work
What was his
hard.
name?
That's
Marshall
it, that's
Montano.
Yes.
Work
That's it.
hard, play harder. Marshall Montano.
Right for that.
Get one. It is right.
Oh
Work hard,
Lord,
play harder.
but that better than none.
Yes.
Go on. People on social media are too damn
I get
slow.
one.
Yeah, somebody say
I'm looking for a little help
Yes,
from
we do it,
social media.
All right.
All right, give us a
song.
next one. Give us a
Okay.
next one, Vaughnette.
Next song, but guys on the panel, let's give the people on social media
A
a
old
chance
one,
to
a
answer it
old
first,
one.
okay? Let me give
Okay.
them a chance to answer it first.
All right.
So the line
okay,
is,
okay.
the line is,
you know.
ain't there something I can give in exchange for everything you give to me?
What social media
Social
say?
media, Facebook people. Who? What song is that? Do any of y'all know? Penny,
I heard this
you're
song this
confusing
morning.
people.
Okay, guys, nobody gets it yet?
Somebody says Anita Baker. That's
No.
Roma Spencer.
It is Anita
Hi,
Baker,
Roma.
but what is the song?
Yes.
What is the song?
I know
What's
it.
the song?
I know this one.
That's it, Casey Smart.
Giving you the
That's it,
best that I
Casey
got.
That's it.
That's
Casey
it.
Smart gets it.
And I knew that one.
Yay, Casey Smart. So you win a prize. I was
David,
clapping
gosh,
you.
Penny,
Yay, Casey Smart.
The prize is applause.
One more.
One more.
Last one, Vaughnette. Otherwise, we had to pay you.
This one. You see, I just eat a curricule, peas rice with cascadu, blue crab and callaloo. That's the line.
Now leave in.
Not leaving, not leaving.
You.
I thought she said
It was me. Sorry. It was for the social media. Sorry. Do one more, Vaughnette, for the social media. Sorry. I just got excited and I finally got one.
A lot of people sing that song.
One more.
Exactly, we can't leave.
So hear this line,
Can't
eh?
leaving.
Hear this line.
Ole hush.
Cause we come to
Can't
my shit up.
Ole hush.
Cause we
Sing
come to
again.
my
Sing
shit
it
up.
again.
Okay.
She sang
Come
it.
to my shit
Cause
up.
we come to much.
Cause we come to mash it up.
Okay,
media, we
social
giving
media.
social media.
Facebook people. No, Facebook people still saying now leaving plumber. We finished that. What is this one that Vaughnette just sang?
Vaughnette sing it again.
Sing it again.
Stage gone bad.
The line
Stage
is
gone bad,
that's it.
somebody says.
That's it. Stage gone bad.
Stacy the Gale, or the
That's
Gale.
Yeah, that's it.
Stacy the Gale got it. Stage gone bad. Give a clap, please. That's all we can afford. Yay!
You get contest just now, so you never know. But there's another song that is up for these times.
Which is what?
There's
What's
another
that?
song
Stage
that's
gone
up
bad?
for the
Yeah.
stage gone bad,
Gone bad.
the world gone bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Good.
World stage.
I will see next time.
All right. So that don't. So that was wonderful. So of course, let's check out. Now we're going to that part of the show where we go to what's on your screen, and of course, on your screen we mean your TV screen. I mean we mean Netflix. And as I said before, plenty of Orleans people account. Poor Netflix. If Netflix clamped down in Trinidad, if Netflix was to clamp down on accounts in Trinidad, I tell you,
What wrong
there'd
with
probably be 1,000. It's just 1,000 people. That's it. So, on your screen, what's coming? OMG Live on your screen. Take it away, DigiGod.
DigiGod.
I know movies have been a big comfort for many at home, but have you seen everything?
Yes.
Here is a trailer
No.
from an upcoming mix for the kids. Or is it really for the kids? Let's take a look.
WWE Universe, get ready to meet the next great superstar.
Leo, you're gonna be late.
All right, kiddo, time to get up.
I'm up, Dad. He's already up. Aw, does our little Leo want to be a WWE superstar?
Get that back, come on.
Oh, we're gonna get you, Thompson.
Whoa. This mask powers only work for competitors who are deserving of its magic. Oh, no! What was that? This mask makes me crazy strong.
Woo! Somebody! I'm gonna break your face, nerd.
I think you should leave them alone. That was the coolest thing ever.
The WWE is hosting a winner-take-all tournament. The winner will become the next WWE superstar.
Yeah, baby!
Keep running, keep running, keep running, keep running.
Hold up, this guy's taking on that guy?
Yeah!
Bring the chaos, bro.
Keep running, cause they wanna test them.
Ew! The match just started. How are you so sweaty?
Don't ask questions you don't want answers to.
Moving on to the tournament, Kid Chaos!
It's gonna be easier than I thought. I'm just kidding. Good luck to none of yous.
Magical mask is not what makes you strong. Real strength comes from here and here.
Wow! Awesome!
Here comes Samson. Welcome to the main event!
Very hungry. Are you okay?
I've been burning a lot of calories lately.
Wow.
April 10th.
I want a mask.
Holy shoulder is for children. Me too.
Exactly what I was thinking.
One of those
Yeah,
movies they could sit
I
down
wanna-
with your family and everybody could enjoy it. Yeah, those are the
Yeah,
things that, you know,
absolutely.
we do in the house. Yeah.
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 Superhero movies always attract people, doesn't it? Anybody does, and you know that's how
Yeah.
you feel about it. When you see it, you get
And it's nice
excited
to
and say,
see-
"Ooh, if I had a mask like that." Yeah.
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 And it's nice to see when you can see somebody with darker hue being a superhero.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
good
also
point.
good too.
Good point.
That's
Good
also
point.
good too.
Yes.
Good
You
point.
know.
Good point, Ben.
Yes.
Okay, guys.
Nice.
That leads us to our next segment. So I was thinking.
I know this current world situation has forced many of us to change our perspective on life and living. So, what have you been thinking? I don't know if you want to start, Pennies.
Well, I was thinking about the amount of fake news that's been going around and what is fake and what is true. And how do we as a society as know what is fake and what is true, and how could we decipher? And one of the things I'm saying to myself now, Penny, just wait until it come up on the news or on CNN or BBC News, and then we know if it's true. I mean, I'm thinking about all the conspiracy theories that's been going around about how this whole COVID-19 came about too, and I'm like wondering what is true and what are just stories. So that's the kind of things that's going on in my mind with this, the theories and the fake news, and we should really get it out. You know, that's me.
Vaughnette?
What I was thinking.
Vaughnette
goes. Let Vaughnette go.
For me, as I was mentioning to somebody yesterday, in terms of how COVID has become what I used to call the great equalizer. I used to say death is the great equalizer, but it has shown us how human we all are, regardless of our age, our skin color, or what we deem our status to be, what job we have, is whether you're royal or whether you're I'm calling it the great equalizer, because we're all susceptible. We all can get it. There's nothing that keeps one person from I don't know. It's just the great equalizer. It's just we all are at risk. I mean, and there's nothing, no greater message in telling us how the fact that we all just human beings. You know, we all just in this together as human beings.
Yeah.
Cecilia?
Richard?
Well,
Giving Cecilia a chance.
I've been thinking how suddenly my life has changed, as well as so many others out there. I know I'm not unique in this, but how suddenly our lives changed as artists and entertainers and people who work. I'm a teacher as well, so you're working with people every day, and how suddenly everything has changed, and how now at this stage at our lives we have to adapt, and the whole world, we have to adapt, and we have to now adapt to this new way. And that's what I've been thinking, how sudden it was that things can change in an instant, and you have to be able to live in the moment and appreciate what you have now. So I try to look at the positive side of it, and
Well, what preoccupied my mind recently was having a chat with my sister. She's in London, and she told me there has been an upswing in domestic violence, you know, because people are now contained to stay in the space. And there are some reports coming in from France and France in general, and Paris in particular. There's been an upswing, and she even mentioned to me that right in London there were 9 murder-suicides. And they all were related to, gender-based domestic violence. So that is something that is coming out of this, because people are now forced to stay with partners that might be problematic partners, because you have to stay isolated. So that was on my mind this morning when she spoke to me about that, and it was bothering me. And I started visualizing it and feeling how stressful it can be if you are in a space and you all have a kind of incompatible kind of flow between you. And if it's leading to that, that's frightening. I hope that doesn't come to our part of the world, you know, in that. So that's what I've been thinking.
Yeah. I mean, well, for me, I don't know. So many thoughts flew through my head. It's like, you know, and sometimes I think, is this World War III? You know, we always thought World War III would be something between countries. And is this actually it? Because the way that all countries have to deal with COVID-19 is akin to a war. You're stuck inside, and some people, you're actually locked down. You can't leave. You know, in some countries, it's more strict than others. And so I think, you know, is this it? Is this what World War III is? And we didn't see it coming. And, you know, so I think about things like that. I think how good it is on another side, too, that how good it is for the planet, because it seems that pollution levels are dropping. So, so in a kind of way, there is a good. But it's still scary, because it's one thing that it's one thing in that it reminds all of us that we are all part of the same species. We are all human beings, and it affects all of us. So all of this nonsense where people have about race and all of the phobias that they have about other human beings. Look how it affects all of us equally. So it's like the great equalizer, like Vaughnette was saying, you know. So those are just some of the thoughts that were going through my mind. concerning it.
Yeah.
All right. So, I mean,
Yes,
you know, well,
definitely.
thanks for your thoughts. I mean, I was trying to see, well, Ingleby Arthur, which is, of course, Dwight Arthur. I'm just going to some
Dwight
social media
Arthur.
responses.
Hey, Dwight.
We are all vulnerable. He's saying we are all vulnerable. It also shows how quickly life can change. And despite all the wealth or power, some humans may have minuscule viruses can turn our world upside down.
Mm-hmm.
And then we have
Tanika said just up
Tanika.
to last night. Yeah, Tanika just said just up to last night I had to witness a domestic situation. Riri Charles says, I think it's the universe forcing us to take stock of ourselves and how we treat each other and the planet. So that's just some of the thoughts coming from social media. But of course,
And I'm really concerned about the children too, though.
Wow, wonderful.
There are a lot of children who are home and being abused there, and I mean they don't have a voice, so we're not going to hear, and they can't go to school for the teachers to see that something happening to them. So that is really concerning to me too. Because
But
Okay.
are the
All right,
social
so
services an essential service, Richard?
if the social services are an essential service, is that a question?
Yes, I think I saw them on the list. Yes, I think I saw them.
Yeah, they are on the list.
They could be
They are on the list.
visiting.
They are. Because remember, there are several grants in Trinidad and
I
Tobago
hope
for
they
people
are
listening
out
out
there
of Trinidad. There are several grants that they're trying to finalize, such as the salary grant for people who have been retrenched. They also have the rent assistance. So you have different things taking place from a social service perspective, food cards and food card top-ups and things like that. All right, so thanks guys for weighing in.
Yes.
Well,
sorry.
I guess. Yeah.
Go ahead.
Thanks, guys. So let's move on because, well, next we have a music video. Of course, it's from Bunji Garlin and Moto.
Okay.
Even though Moto is spelled M-O-T-T-O, and that's really motto.
Motto.
But let's go with it. Let's just go with it. And they released this brand new video.
Centuries from now, almost all humans have lost the zeal to revel. Some say the technology is at fault, crippling society. Others say it healed the earth. For the few who remain, reveling is only a myth. But after so many years, the power of reveling has returned.
Moto! You see the tree over there? I want you to go break the branch. Break the branch. Break the branch. Viking! Hey! Garlin! Whoa! Do anything that you want. Do anything that you want. Do anything that you want. If the party turn up over there, break a branch and it's a mass over there. Break a branch. The party turn up over there. Break a branch. I want you to run, go, everybody. Take up a branch and run round the place. Run to the clouds. Take up a branch and run round the place. Run to the clouds. Take up a branch and run. I want you to break a branch, break a branch, break a branch. If the party turn up over there, break a branch and it's a mass over there. Break a branch, the party turn up over there. Break a branch. I want you to run, everybody. Try branch, people, please give me guidance.
Nice. It's a nice vibe. But what do you all think about it? What do you all think?
Well, I will say firstly, I like the sultry voice at the top, and I know the person that's Carla Gonzalez, my doodoo darling, that voice up at the top of the video. Carla Gonzalez. Yes.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I thought it was interesting.
I like the energy. I like the energy. It's movable, but I don't know if the EMA will be very happy with the message.
Deforestation.
The environmentalists will not be pleased. Break a branch.
Yeah,
Can you imagine a party?
Well, he says break the dry branches, break the dry branches with no leaves and things. That's what he says. Look, I broke a branch right here to make an arrangement.
All of that is in this song, Cecilia?
I
dry branch?
I think
I
so.
did not hear that.
Okay. Dry branch is easier.
All right, well.
It's a nice melody. I love bungee. I love bungee.
Maybe I'm just...
Yeah.
Love it.
Okay, yeah.
But it
sounded like you needed to edit.
We actually have
Go
Carla
ahead,
Gonzalez
Vaughnette.
on the live here. Carla Gonzalez is
Hi, Carla.
Hi, Carla.
Hi, Carla.
All right, so we have so many people on the live who could also come on at certain points. I've seen some of the names there.
That's right.
So anyway, so you know what?
Exactly.
This, of course, we can't be on forever, so we're coming to the end of our live, and this is the time for what we call our...
Before we leave today,
I love that song.
Yeah, I love it too. I want each one of us to give our final word for the day. Okay? So that's how we're going to close. A final word could be more than one word. It's final thought.
Yeah, thought.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Penny,
Right,
let's go Penny. Penny.
Of course, why not? Well, I am thinking about my word would be communicate. I mean, during this crisis of COVID-19, families are at home, and I'm hoping that they could start to communicate. Because, I mean, when parents are working hard and they have, and they come home, and sometimes the children talking to them, I can't hear you now, everybody don't want to hear now, they're too busy. I just hope they could use this time to communicate with each other, communicate with the children, communicate with the older ones, have a session where we could support each other, talk to each other about how, what's been going on in school, what been going on in your judo class, I don't know. Let's talk and communicate, and, at the end of this, we could say, remember that COVID-19 time when we sit down and we talk and we trash out things and we came closer as a family. So communication is really important. I hope that's going to happen. Yes.
Great. Love.
Vaughnette, what's your final word? I put in Vaughnette, I'll go last.
I basically just want to reiterate the words or the thought in terms of people. Just for a short while, we're just making a sacrifice to stay indoors, to stay in our homes, which I know our homes are supposed to be a haven somewhat, but I mean, just for the greater good, it's not going to be forever. But if we could just stay inside as much as possible, because I'm actually really scared about where this thing could go if we don't listen. So I'm just going to repeat the call from almost everybody. Let's just stay at home and try.
Salazar.
Cecilia.
Yeah, my word would be together. Together. We are in this all together. As Vaughnette says, everyone says we have to stay at home, but together. We all have to do it. It's sort of a contradiction, but we all have to be alone together. But when you're home, as Penny said, be together. Make your home a special place. I have a blow-up pool outside in the yard. I'm lucky to have a yard. You have to blow up the pool every 2 minutes because it goes down, but that's okay. We're making do with what we have together. So we have to fight this together. Everybody has to stay home and do it together.
Yeah, well, it really rouses a sense of consciousness. And my word, as I use in most of my things, is about humanity and about civilization. And I think that Mother Nature is really talking to us, and some of the positives that Richard mentioned before, because they say like the canals in Venice, you can see to the bottom of them, and the dolphins are along the Italian coastlines again. and the smog in some of the Chinese cities are no longer there. So in an inadvertent way, there is this cleansing that is happening, and it makes us be conscious of the fact that living one with nature is what we were all supposed to do, which is a kind of indigenous practice, and we really need to get back to that, and therefore it facilitates all of what we all speak about, quality time and all of those really essential, fundamental, good values for living. So that has been in my mind, and that's what I want to share.
Yeah. I mean, what I would talk about is the fact that I felt that this was a time, an opportunity for the politics of division to be no more. And that Trinidad and Tobago would have been united from a political point. And by political, I mean, you see all these divisions on social media of who is for this party, who's for that party. And it's so vicious. And of course, I want no part of that. And so you just kind of wish that the country was united in a more positive way about facing it, following what the government says, because they are the government and they're putting these things in place. I don't want us to have to go to an SOE, a state of emergency. So seriously, start taking it seriously, please, because it's for all of us. It's not a game. It's not something to make fun of. It's something that's very serious. People are dying. Trinidad has had 5 deaths already. And I don't know. To me, you just have to be generous of spirit to understand, okay, let me take this inconvenience because it's for the good of all. And that's what I wish. I wish that we had more of that.
I mean, I always was saying too that even this is a crisis, but we have lights, we have water, we have our homes, we have family, we don't have a broken down building. We have so much that we could be positive in this crisis. So let us just use that, embrace all those positive things, and make it work. Yeah. We could get over this quickly, but if everybody have to do it,
Yeah, absolutely.
Exactly. Everybody has to do it. Otherwise, we can't flatten the curve, as they say. Everyone has to do it.
Yep.
We all have to be part of it. It's a sense of personal responsibility that we all have to take seriously.
Exactly.
And just do our part, do our respective part. Don't try to play a bad and, you could go outside and whatever. Just take it down. Yeah. And let's all get together.
Rich, before we go, let me just say hi to a couple of people who just joined us, and so to Arlene Wilkes, to Rosalind Jackson, who I call Mama. Again, Alette Williams, Shellyan Noel, all of you, Camille Pear, Pat Dillon, Norma James, Jean Thomas, Madian Mahan, Camille Pear, thank you all so much for joining us. Desiree, hi, oh gosh, Desiree, I'm so sorry you're now joining us because we're about finished, but we'll be here tomorrow at 2. Thanks to all who joined us on the live.
She can just look at it when we're done.
Yeah. Yes, and you can look at it again. Yeah.
And we have people in Grenada, and we have all kind of people over to us, So, and London and Heidi and everybody. Hello. Right. Yeah.
Hello.
And we have
to all over the world.
Fabulous.
So that's it, folks. Cecilia, you want a last word again?
Yes. No. I just said we all in this together again. We all in this together.
Yes.
All together.
All right. So that's it. I mean, thanks to those who watched our very first episode of OMG Live, the Quarantine Edition. And as I said, you'll see some of the faces changing. We'll have guests, Trinidadians from across the planet, who will be sometimes telling us what's going on wherever they are. So thanks to those who watched and took part. And please, we want you, our viewers, to join us. Send us your comments, voice notes, and a video clip of your thoughts and perspective. Email it to info@omgtt.com so we can share it on OMG Live, the Quarantine Edition.
Oh, yes. Thanks to our OMG crew of very small talented crew of our one person, which is Stephen Doobal, for making this possible. Thank you, Stephen.
Thanks, Stephen.
He's our 1%.
And as we always say on OMG, be kind to each other. Be kind.
Let's be kind to each other.
Yeah, so join me at the same time tomorrow.